Alright, what we're going to attempt to do is check this Fumoto valve. It's been draining for, I'm going to say, about 35 minutes. And we're getting one drop about every 5 seconds. You guys can time it on the video. So what I want to do is take this thing off and see how much more oil will come out, because this valve goes up into the oil pan. Some people are worried that they're not getting all the oil out that they need. So, to make it a little bit less of a mess, I'm going to turn this off. Wipe his nose. Put this catch pan underneath here. Hopefully I'm keeping you somewhat in frame. See how much oil comes out of here. Some folks like to let it drip until there's absolutely not one drop coming out. That's fine. I will measure this later. I don't have the technical savvy to know how to stitch videos together. So unfortunately, this will be a 2-video review. I'm just going to let it run all the way out with no breaks so that you can see exactly what we're dealing with. Again, we started with the Fumoto valve draining approximately 35 minutes. I should have timed it. And then we let it drip drain until there was a drip approximately every 5 seconds. And now we're going to let this go until it drips, I guess, every 5 seconds or something. And then we'll see. I really hope I haven't covered this up the whole time. So we are getting some more out. Oh, do we have a 1/4 cup? I don't know. I'm one of the old school guys. I change oil every 3,000. I've done it 5,000, and I've also done what I think is foolish, is I bought into the claim that you could go a whole year or 20,000 and you'd be fine. Well, after I did that, I sent oil out to a testing lab, and there was some, I believe, extra magnesium, not exactly sure, but some of those metals were in the engine. But after I went back to judiciously changing every 3,000, the test came back clean as a whistle. So anyone who says changing oil once a year, I don't agree with it. I'm sure there are others who have different experience, and they can chime in if they like. I didn't think I would get quite this much. We might be a little over a 1/4 cup, but I'll measure that out. I'll do a quick video on that. But we're just going to let this drain. We are up on ramps. This is done on a 2018 Toyota Highlander. Okay, now we're getting to the drip. But we'll still let him drip until kind of like what the Fumoto valve was doing. Let's see if I can make this phone be quiet. I'm sure most people who are not gearheads are not interested at all. But I'm obsessive compulsive, and I want to know how much oil is left in that drain pan after the Fumoto valve is done. This may go on for several minutes, but I guess you could always speed to the end of the video and then do the math yourself on how long the video was. I'm kind of committed at this point because I'm curious now. I did another similar video some years back, and I believe I let the Fumoto valve completely quit dripping, and I did a similar test, and I think it came out to like 2 tablespoons or something like that. But as I've said numerous times, I'll say it again in case you're just tuning in, we let the Fumoto valve drain until there was 1 drip every 5 seconds approximately. We just want to see how much is still left up in that oil pan. And truth be told, when this stops dripping from this stage where there's no plug in there at all, we could drop this drain pan, and I guarantee you we'd get several tablespoons of oil that are still in here, because there's a little lip before this drain hole begins. But the main thing is, of course, change your oil often and regularly. It's cheap insurance. I enjoy doing it. Now, if you put tons and tons of miles on your vehicles, maybe you don't think it's worth your time and effort, well, that's fine. Everyone does things their own way. I'm really curious to pour this into a measuring device, a smaller one than this. This does measure, but I want to get really, really accurate. Maybe the sound of dripping oil is mesmerizing. Maybe I'll watch this later tonight when I can't sleep. We're getting a drop about every second and a half, so we have just a little ways to go yet. Then you have to ask yourself, well, how much is okay to stay in my engine oil change to oil change? And everyone will have a different answer. If you're on the drag strip, or you do things professionally, motocross, aircraft stuff, you may have a very narrow tolerance for this type of thing. I watch, what's his name? Ford Man. Can't remember his first name right now. But he's an outstanding mechanic, young man. Doesn't talk in his videos. And he will dive into an engine, he'll rip it all apart, he'll get it running, he'll put upgrades in there. And to my knowledge, I have never seen him wait this long to change oil in an engine. I think once it starts dripping, he's done. So, yeah, slowing down a bit now. Does it really matter? Probably not. Probably not. But we each have our own tolerances. I mean, you can figure out yours. How many seconds we getting in between drips? About 2. Yeah, almost 3. Okay, we're at a drip every 3 seconds now. And to be obsessive compulsive and equal, we're going to wait till it's a drip every 5 seconds. We may have another 5 minutes of waiting here. I do not know. But when you've come this far, it seems a shame to cut off the test too soon. I'm one of these people who, once I'm done changing the oil, I'll spray brake clean up in here and make sure it's all nice and clean. That looks shiny like there's oil on there, but it's that clean, which is surprised it's that shiny on a piece of painted undercarriage metal. Drip every 4 seconds. I have really enjoyed these Fumoto valves on both vehicles. It just makes things cleaner. It's not a big deal, I know, to get a little dirty when you do an oil change, but having that little lever and flicking it and then going inside and relax and doing something for a while and come back in an hour and then closing it and having no mess on your hands, that's nice. Now, I will say, I don't know if this can be seen, this is the filter over here, and changing a filter out, you're going to get some oil on your hands. So no, I can't change oil with totally clean hands, but I can do this part clean, and that amuses me, so that's what I do. We're getting close. That's 5. I just counted it. That's one every 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I also checked it with my watch. So we're going to call that good. We'll get one more drip here so that we can have measurement. Wipe his nose off one more time. Now, I don't know if I can do this while obscuring your view or not. Nice and snug. A little bit of brake clean. Clean that bad boy off. And this is how much we have. I can't hold it flat, of course. But the next video will be how much oil we get from this point on.